So today I'm going to tell you a story from Iran. There was this little girl about Janice's age, and her name was Shiraz. And when she was small, her mother passed away, so her dad remarried, and her stepmother came with their own daughter called Mamir. And so they grew up together. But one day, Shiraz's dad died, and everything changed. Now Shiraz, her stepmother told her she had to do all the cleaning and cooking. So she was, after school, she would go back and did all the cleaning and cooking. Now one day, she was going to knit a sweater. So she got a ball of wool, she was on the roof, and then a gust of wind just blew that ball of wool down into one of her neighbor's garden. And the neighbor was an old lady. So now Shiraz, she wanted that ball of wool back because it was her mother's ball of wool. So she ran down and she knocked on that old lady's door and she asked, "Oh, can I please have my ball of wool back?" And the old lady cracked the door out and she looked out and she said, "I'm very old and I can't do a lot of things. If you help me do some things, I will give you your ball of wool back." Well, Shiraz, she was very used to hard work, so she said, "Okay, sure." And so the old lady brought her in, and the old lady was dirty and filthy. Her hair was all over the place, and she brought her to the kitchen. And the kitchen sink was full of dirty dishes, and the floor was terrible. And then the old lady said to Shiraz, she said, "Here's a hammer. I don't need all this dirty dishes, and I don't need all these dirty cups. Just smash them and get it over with." Now I'm going to ask you, if you were Shiraz, what would you do? Smash the dishes? Okay. Well, this is what Shiraz did. And then the old lady left. So Shiraz, she actually cleaned the dishes. She cleaned the dishes, she cleaned the cups, she cleaned the floor, and she cleaned the stove. And in the corner, she found a basket of vegetables, and she made a little pot of soup. And then she told the old lady, "Hello, I'm finished." And then the old lady came and looked around. She didn't say anything. And then she took Shiraz to her bedroom. And then she told Shiraz, "I have all this filthy hair. I don't need it anymore. Just cut it off." But what did Shiraz do? She cleaned it, and she combed it down the old lady's thin back, and she braided it and made it into a neat little bun. And then after that, the old lady actually looked very happy. And then, so the old lady told Shiraz, "Okay, here is your ball of wool. Now when you go out at the end of the garden, there are two pools. One is clear and one is dark. You go to the clear one, you dip yourself 3 times, and then you go to the dark one, you dip yourself 3 times, and then you can go home." And so that's what Shiraz did. She went up to the backyard, she found 2 pools, she dipped herself 3 times in the clear one, and then 3 times in the dark one, and then she went home. Oh, and then she remembered, "Oh, I have to cook. And then she knocked on her own house and she said, "Oh, please." And then her sister, Munir, came in and opened the door. And Munir says to Shiraz, "Hi, can I help you?" And Shiraz said, "Munir, it's me, Shiraz." And Munir said, "No, you don't look like Shiraz. You look far too beautiful." So something changed. Anyway, and then Munir called her mother down, and her stepmother came down and said politely to Shiraz, "Oh, how can we help you?" And Shiraz pleaded and said, "Oh my goodness, this is me. I'm Shiraz. So after a lot of pleading, they finally found that she was Shiraz. And then she made them tell her what happened and tell her what happened in the all afternoon. Well, the next day, the stepmother went to the market and she bought 2 big basketfuls of wool. And then from the floor, she started throwing all the wool out. Okay, so she went one to the street, one to her neighbor, and then finally she got 1 ball of wool to the old lady's house. And then she took Munir and said, okay, Munir, this is your turn. Okay, you have to go to that lady's house and do whatever she says. And so Munir went and she knocked on the door. No. And the old lady came out. And so Munir says, and so Munir asked for the ball of wool back, and the old lady says, well, and she's again very filthy. Her hair was all over the place, and the kitchen was dirty and full of dirty cups and saucers and pans and pots. And she told Munir, well, I'm very old and I can't do a lot of things, but if you can help me do some things, I will be happy to give you a ball of wool back. So Munir went in to the kitchen, and then she told Munir, just I'm giving you a hammer, just smash all these dishes away and smash all these cups and pots and pans because I don't need it. And then she left. And then what did Munir do? Yeah, she smashed it. She really smashed everything. She did, so there was not 1 dish, 1 cup left. And then the old lady took her to her bedroom and told Munir, well, I have all this dirty hair, just cut it off. I don't need it anymore. So Munir did just that. And she cut it very carelessly. Not like Lima cuts it very nice, but that Munir, she just cuts it off. And then the old lady was going to give her a ball of wool back, but Munir totally forget. Okay, just tell me where the pools are. And so the old lady said, so there's a clear pool and there's a dark pool. You go to the clear pool 3 times. You go to the dark pool 3 times, and you go to the clear pool 3 times. And so Munir forgets about her wool. She goes to the back, and then she finds a pool of water. She jumps in the dark pool 3 times, and then she goes to the clear pool, and she dips herself 10 times. Okay, now I got 10 times. I'm going to be far more beautiful than Shiraz. So, but when she came out of the pool, her skin was all wrinkled, and she didn't really look that good. And then she ran home, forgetting her wool. And she knocked on her door, and her mom opens the door. And her mom says, hey, we don't have time for beggar girls. Just go away. And so she didn't recognize Munir. And Munir said, hey, Mom, it's me, please, let me in. And finally, they found that, hey, she really is Munir. But she was ugly and her skin was wrinkled. And then they told Shiraz to come down, and Shiraz felt very sorry for Munir. So Shiraz and Munir eventually grew up, and the people finally found out the secret of the old lady's pool of water. Actually, the pools of water were the same water. They just bring out who you are inside. And they remember Shiraz, who was a brave girl, and she understood that when some people are sad, they don't know how to ask. So that's the end.